April 2021 was the first time I looked at an Australian video, and that was what is AFL. And since then, I have learnt a lot. And that includes actually going to Australia. Not many people can say they've made that jump. And I've done something that even most Australians haven't done. That is get to the MCG, the AFL Grand Final. Now, we all know that the real way to test your knowledge is look at the Beano Ultimate Australian General Knowledge Quiz. Apparently. So there's 10 questions, and I'm going to try and get them all right. Well, here we are. We've got the Ultimate Australian General Knowledge Quiz questions by the Beano quiz team. So, question 1, couldn't it get any easier? I don't think so. Because what is the capital city of Australia? Now, a little funny point is, this is probably one of the most used questions in UK pub quizzes around the country. What is the capital of Australia? Now, obviously, most people would put Sydney, but it is not Sydney, it is Canberra. And it is because Melbourne and Sydney, the two powerhouses, couldn't get to grips with themselves, and so they had to put the capital city in the middle, sort of both those cities. So, Canberra, I'm sorry if you're from Canberra, we did go. Charlie got attacked by a magpie. It was the most brilliant thing I've ever seen and the best thing to happen in Canberra. So the answer, what is the capital city of Australia? Boom, Canberra. What is this? I assume they're on about the flower, not the hand. The most poisonous flower in Australia? No. Australia's national plant? A flower named after Dame Nellie Melba. I think if there is a flower named after Dame Nellie Melba, which I've looked at, I think it's a pink flower. Yeah, I'm pretty sure one. If there is one, and I may have just, this may be something in the back of my brain here, but I think the one named after Dame Nellie Melba is actually some pink flower. Or is it Kylie Minogue's favourite flower? Well, it might be her favourite flower. But I would say it is the golden wattle. It's definitely wattle, and I think it's golden. So it's Australia's national plant. And it's a beautiful little plant, isn't it? Well, this one's easy. Where is the arrow pointing to? Victoria, which is just above it. No, that's Victoria, so that's above it. Perth, no, that is way over here where we had our stupidly long fault with the plane when we stopped for refuel. Darwin, you can't even see Darwin on here because it's at the top. And that is Tasmania. I would have loved to have got to Tasmania, and we will try. Maybe. It's meant to be like England, right? So, what is Ned Kelly famous for? Ned Kelly, the famous outlaw with the metal armour, shot outside the pub, or the tavern, or whatever you want to call it, in his last stand against the police. A rough upbringing he had. Being Australia's first Prime Minister? No. Invented the yacht? No. Being an outlaw? Yes. Or wrestling a shark? He may have wrestled a shark. But I know it's being an outlaw. Australia's most famous outlaw, right? What is a duck-billed platypus? Now, I do know about the duck-billed platypus. I think the English said it is a mashup of all different things, or it's mixed between a duck and a beaver, and it is a weird-looking thing. And this is actually the one animal that I didn't see that I really wanted to see. And obviously, it's not a fish, it's not a reptile, and it's not an invertebrate. It's a monotreme. A monotreme is an animal that isn't it like a mammal that lays eggs? I know that lays eggs because you've got that and you've got the echidna. But yeah, this was the one animal that I didn't see. So yeah, because they've got the spurs on their back feet, haven't they? But it's a monotreme, nice and easy. Boom. Okay, true or false? It snows in Australia. True or false? Now, One of the videos I did was, I think, 50 facts about Australia. And before I'd learned a lot about Australia, I wouldn't have told you it snowed. I would have said Australia doesn't snow. And, you know, we see Australia over here in the UK as a hot place all year. And when we came to Melbourne, you know, you guys, oh, make sure you bring your coat. And we thought, what are you talking about? Bring your coat. Australia is hot. You don't even know what cold is, you Aussies. And yeah, it was bloody cold the first morning in Australia in Melbourne. So we made a bit of a mistake. But isn't it the fact that, which one is it? Is it Mount Disappointment or somewhere like that? I can't remember which one. Or Mount Isla. One of them that snows more than the Alps or something like that. But so yes, you do have snow. So it's true. I can't remember which mountain though does more than the Alps. It's one of them, I'm sure. True. What is the name of the indigenous people of Australia? Now, I don't think they like to be called Aboriginals. That's what I kept getting told. But they're Aboriginal. Hopi, Metis, Cherokee. Aren't Cherokee the Americans? Anyway, it's Aboriginal, but obviously you get the whole thing of what names they would like to be called as a people. First Nations, we get, I've been told to call them. Whenever I've called them Aboriginal, which the answer is, you do sometimes get the people that, oh no, they're Indigenous, or no, they're First Nations. So I know I'm right when you say Aboriginal, but some people get offended by that, I think. But the answer is Aboriginal. Boom. What is Australia's national dish? Now, obviously, they're showing a picture of fish and chips. However, I don't think that's Australian fish and chips, especially with the lips and eyes on it. But I'm saying that because it's got mushy peas. I love mushy peas. Mushy peas. This is the question. Petit pois, marrow fat, or mushy peas? Mushy peas all day long. So actually, the Aussies rave about their fish and chips, right? They rave about their fish and chips. However, I don't think it is that. When I was down there on this channel, I did a taste test of Aussie fish and chips. Did I have barramundi? I think I did, something like that. And what you actually get from that is, it really does depend on where you go. Exactly the same here in the UK. We are known for our fish and chips. But it depends where you get them from. Some are crispy, some are a little bit soggier, some of the fish is a crispier batter, some are softer. It really does depend. Jelly and ice cream, no. Prawns, yes, you're known for that because that's what loads of you had for Christmas, right? But no, that was basically prawns are great by the beach and for the summer weather anyway. But I think it's got to be roast lamb, because you've got all the roast lamb, the lamb day ads, which is basically paid for by the meat companies. But I think you've got to say it's roast lamb. But it could be fish and chips. We'll see. We'll see if I get it right. Roast lamb. I do love those. Actually, I do love those ads. And I cannot wait for the 2023 one to come out, because that's quite exciting, watching the new one each year. Roast lamb. Boom. 9 out of 10 so far. What is a kangaroo's pouch for? Storing food. Baby kangaroos called joeys. Keeping the kangaroo's organs warm. Surely that'll be inside their body. Car keys, purse, spare money. That one's a bit of a stupid question. Clearly it is baby kangaroos. And you would know that we saw joeys. We saw joeys in their pouches, and they are adorable. One of my actually biggest memories of when we went to Cleveland, but we didn't see many joeys there. But when we went to Ballarat Wildlife, actually seeing the joey out of the pouch and then climb into the pouch was it's a little thing, but it's a memory that will never be forgotten. It was just an amazing thing to see. But it's, yeah, baby kangaroos called Joeys. Number 10. What is this national Australian landmark? I assume it's not on about the arrow. It's not on about the clouds. It is on about Uluru, or more recently known as Ayers Rock, which doesn't... No, I say it doesn't get used anymore. It probably does get used. But Uluru, I think, will be the name now that's being used. And actually, Uluru is what it's called in Civilization, the game. So it's got to be... What are the other options? Plymouth Rock, the Grand Canyon, or Victoria Falls? No. The Grand Canyon's in America. Anyway, Uluru. Boom. How many days? Yes! Oh! Bonza. I don't think they really use Bonza. You really know your stuff. Well, thank you very much, Beano. I like to think I know some stuff. Or at least the questions you posed, which weren't very difficult. There was possibly a few trick questions, like the national dish. And because that could have been fish and chips, I think, quite easily that could have been fish and chips. But it's like in the UK, because technically now, our national dish is a curry. I'm pretty sure. So there was a couple of trick questions that could have tripped you up, but 10 out of 10, thank you very much. I will take that all day long. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you played along. And if you're Australian, I hope you got all 10 right, because that would be a little bit embarrassing if you didn't. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.